Do we offer bum shaping? Short answer, no, we don't offer bum shaping. Mainly because it's not really anything I've got into. And you do go to meetings and you see people talking about it, and they make out as if it is a big, well, I say they make out, I think it is a big thing. I think it is a big industry. I don't think there's, I think that's probably true. And what they say is that if you don't offer it, you don't know how big an industry it is. So I do believe that there is an industry there for it, especially with the Kim Kardashian and the like. We don't offer it, / I don't offer it because I've never offered it. And I've always struggled a little bit with the aesthetic of it. When I look at people who are deemed to have this enhancement, I've struggled a little bit to see how it is aesthetically pleasing sometimes with the sort of significant enhancement. And it's a bit like breast. With breast, I'm much more of a sort of restoring form type guy rather than blowing up enormous breasts that are out of proportion. So there is that, but then maybe it's a bit like breasts, and those are the ones you see on the internet, because the patients that I see are patients who've lost weight, whose buttocks are often deflated, and because of the significant weight loss. So not necessarily the sort of glam models that you might see in the media. So and I don't offer those patients anything either, because it is difficult to know what to do with a deflated buttock, because when the buttock is deflated, and it's the same principle with the breast, with the face, with the tummy, with the arms, with the thighs, whatever, when that is deflated, so it's been stretched by having had a heavier weight, and then that weight has gone, so you've got left with deflated, saggy skin. What do you do? So one thing you can do is tighten that saggy skin. Face lift, arm lift, thigh lift, tummy tuck, mastopexy, all of those are tightening the saggy skin. So if you tighten the saggy skin of the buttock, the issues with that are it would leave you a scar in the buttock crease, which can be uncomfortable, difficult to heal, problems with healing. And actually, by tightening the skin of the buttock, you will actually flatten the contour. You will actually blunt the contour of the buttock. It's not like a tummy tuck where you want a sort of flat stomach. You don't want a flat buttock. You want a rounded buttock. So, tightening that skin and make it really tight like you would for a tummy tuck or a facelift or a breast lift, it doesn't do the trick. It tightens it and flattens the contour. So what you often need to do, and what people want, is actually adding volume. So equivalent of actually putting implants in, for instance, as the analogy with the breast, and they do give an analogy to a breast. And if you look at a buttock, you can see these photos when people do talks of sort of a close-up of a buttock with a natal cleft. It actually can look like breasts. So there is an analogy there. But the best way is to add volume to the buttock to take up that sort of saggy skin, if you like. Now, the problem with adding volume is we used to do that with implants, but there was lots of potential complications with implants, migration, their mucus is sitting on it all the time, moving. They can be uncomfortable. If they get infected, it can be a bit of a nightmare. Same for a breast implant, to be fair. So we had a lot of problems with implants, and then they moved to fat grafting, saying this is the great panacea, the great thing for buttock implant, and is the way to go. And certainly it avoided a lot of problems with implants. And so fat grafting was Brazilian butt lift, you may have heard, BBL, so called. And for some reason they could do high volume fat grafting into the buttocks, but we can't into the breast. Not sure how, but that's maybe a question for another day. So that really sort of took off quite significantly. Now, the problem with fat grafting into the buttock is there was some high profile, some basic cases of people dying because the fat was injected into the quite big blood vessels that are around your buttocks. And so young, fit, attractive Well, I suppose it doesn't matter if they're attractive or not, does it? Young, fit people were dying because of the fat was injected into the buttock. So the British Association of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons said, look, we shouldn't really be doing it. We should be looking into it, looking at the risks, seeing if there's a safer way to do it. And I know that there are people around the world who are doing it and are saying that it's safe and there are safe ways to do it. And these terrible complications were because of X, Y, and Z. They were injecting it too deep, and they weren't keeping it in a safe plane, etc. And there's a safe way to do it. I've never done it, so I'm not really in a position to know whether that is the case or not, but they're quite well respected surgeons saying that. So but I think in this country we have stepped back from it, and certainly barbs have said we shouldn't really be doing it. That's the fat grafting I'm talking about there. So that's where we are with buttock shaping, bum shaping. So I've never done it, and I think probably, don't quote me on this, but probably at my age I can't see me really getting into it. Might be wrong, and if maybe someone came to the clinic who's had a lot of experience in it and wanted to take it on at the clinic, maybe. But myself doing it, I can't see that happening. Never say never, but can't see it happening myself.